Next guy we're talking about, JD, this one's a you guy. I'm going to let you take over. Right now, he is ranked 7th overall on the Tankathon board, and he is the number 2 wide receiver behind Travis Hunter. Luther Burden III out of Mizzou, baby. What do you like about Luther?
Well, Luther Burden, I'm gonna give credit to my boy Kai in the Discord.
Shout out Kai.
He's the one who put me on to him last year.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about Luther is, first of all, he's 5'11", 208, so he's not the tallest wide receiver, but he has a solid build. He had basically, I think his route running is probably the best out of any wide receiver this year. In the first game this year, he had only 4 receptions for 49 yards, but also a touchdown, so not bad. And I just think he has
he can
one
fly.
Yeah.
He's got speed, dude.
Yeah, he does have speed. But I think he's a typical number 1 wide receiver build for any team.
Okay.
Last year he put up 1,212 yards and 9 touchdowns on 86 receptions. So what that tells me there as well with the 86 receptions, it also, yeah, he's durable. I should point that one out as well, based off of his college career. But I think, yeah, he has sure hands. He can high point the ball, which is really important to develop at the college level. And he's shown that he can do that, which will translate to the NFL. And yeah, I mean, he could, I guess, technically stay at Mizzou for another year, but I don't think he will, because I think he'll be the number 1 wide receiver. Sorry, he'll be fighting for the number 1 wide receiver with Travis Hunter. But yeah, I just think he's a baller, honestly.
So I'm gonna make an NFL comparison to him right here, and this is me very quickly, like boom boom, watching just a little bit of his highlights last year, and then watching 2 seconds of the guy that I think he's like. I gotta look up the measurements really quick because they seem similar. I just want to make sure they're similar. So Tankathon has Luther at 5'11", 208. Ooh, so okay, he's a little bit bigger than this guy, but you tell me if I'm wrong. You know what type of player I could see him being in the NFL?
Who?
Jalen Waddle. Catching screens, basically catching screens in the backfield, using his speed to just explode, catching those routes over the middle where it's catch and then let your speed take you. Like, watching his highlights, the first thing I thought of was, oh, this guy would fit perfect with Miami. Is he going to be low enough for Miami to take? Probably not, but he would fit perfectly if you're looking for a Jalen Waddle type guy with that, that just let me have him catch it short so that, boom, we can use his speed to get through defenders and get down the field. But he also has the ability to use his speed to blow past the defense and take the top off of it as well.
Well, yeah. See, I don't hate the Jalen Waddle comparison.
He is a little bit, he's about 30 pounds thicker.
Yeah, well, that's what
30 pounds thicker and 1 inch taller.
Even though he's sub 6 foot, I think he plays bigger than his height actually shows, and his weight plays a factor in that because he's really good at shaking tackles. So he's really good after the catch. But yeah, I would say he kind of plays a lot like AJ Brown, like a shorter AJ Brown.
Okay.
I like that comparison for him.
Okay. Maybe it's the highlight reel that they have here on Tankathon. I'm seeing a lot of screens and then a lot of hey, let me go and you find the ball, let me put it in your breadbasket, rather than, hey, let you jump up and try to pinpoint the ball.
Yeah.
I gotta watch. I gotta watch now an AJ Brown highlight to see. In
I
my
just
head,
think
I
the way
can't.
he
In my
moves.
head, I can't see what you're throwing out there. I gotta see it with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just feel like his running style is similar. Like I would say
Hmm.
he's faster than AJ Brown,
Yes.
but just the way he moves kind of reminds me of him.
Yeah, I could see. I could see it a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just thinking Waddle because of like, man,
Waddle's
AJ Brown kind of moves this like. See, the thing is, Brown is catching the ball further down the field.
yeah,
Where a lot of the highlights that I was seeing with the Mizzou one
but
for Luther is they were like, maybe it was just because like I'm seeing a lot of screen passes and
and
that's
but
where
that's
Waddle
what
thrives.
yeah, but that's also what Mizzou does.
Yeah.
They do the quick game. I think Luther Burden will benefit more from
Hmm.
an NFL style offense where the ball's getting pushed down the field more and those like intermediate routes.
I don't hate it. I could see, I'm going to say I could see you know what? I'm going to meet you in the middle. I think he's a combination of both where Jalen Waddle fits the short game for Luther Burden, but AJ Brown fits the long game that Luther
Yeah,
Burden has. Like he's got both. I can see both mixed in now that you say that. One's the long game, one's the short game.
yeah,
Oh, and you say he's like, oh, there's a possibility he goes back. I do have a question for you about one of the other prospects, but I do have to bring this up real quick. So
yeah.
last year, your big board 1.0 is still
Yeah.
on the website, and you had a Mecca Abuka
Mhm.
at number 16 on that board. There was some points where Emeka was rising and rising, and you had him start out as the fourth overall wide receiver.
Mhm.
Malik Neighbors, Keon Coleman were 3 and 2, and then number one was Marvin Harrison Jr.
Pretty good.
Emeka right now is the fourth overall wide receiver. So yet again, he's right where you on Tankathon, he's right where you had him. Fourth going into last year, fourth going into this year. Do you think he's going to regret coming back, or should he have come out in the deepest wide receiver group that we have ever seen? Because I'll be honest, yeah, he's the fourth best wide receiver right now coming into the league, but last year he was around 16th on your big board. Tankathon has him 20th. So
Yeah.
like, is there a chance it's like, dude, you could have got your bag last year, and this year your position might fall a little bit? Like, is he just going to end up being a day two wide receiver?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say he will regret it
Mm-hmm.
because now Ohio State has Jeremiah Smith, who
Uh huh.
I think will very quickly be the number one wide receiver as a true freshman this year. He's
Mm-hmm.
arguably the greatest wide receiver prospect to come out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that will kind of hurt him. But also last year he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Ibuka got hurt.
Good point. Good
So
point.
so you could argue, well, hey, if he stays healthy this year and
Mm-hmm.
remain the number one wide receiver for the year, for the year at Ohio State, well then his stock should only go up because Ohio State's going to be pretty good this
Yeah.
year. Well, not pretty good; they're going to be really good. But
They'll be a playoff team.
yeah, yeah, and
It's going to be them and Oregon fighting it out for the Big Ten this year.
yeah. So but I think he will because again, there's so much risk to it. Because what if he gets hurt again? If he gets hurt
Mm-hmm.
again, then yes, he's going to be a day two pick.
Mm-hmm.
And if Jeremiah Smith takes over as the number one wide receiver, well, then that's less touches getting, or yeah, targets going to Ibuka's way.
Yeah.
So
That's a
I
good
just feel
point.
like there's so much more risk to it, but obviously
Mm-hmm.
there still is a potential the payoff
Mm-hmm.
of him being a top 15 pick or a
Yeah.
top 20 pick.
Yeah, I just look at it and I go, I can't wait to see like how his season pans out this year because like Ohio State should be good. You bring up the injury history, forgot completely about that. But I just look at it and I go, you know what? Are you going to regret not taking that bag last year? Like, I get it. Last year was probably so jam packed that he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go back, try to work my way back up with maybe a lesser class. But it's just one question that I was kind of thinking about it. What do you regret? I'm going to be in your camp, though. I think he does. As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.